much. Next, the distinguished guest to honor us is Dr. Munawar Iqbal. He will be joining us online. I introduced him previously, but just to refresh your memory, he is working as the Director General in the Private Power and Infrastructure Board, Ministry of Energy in the Government of Pakistan. He is a civil engineer. He did his bachelor's in engineering from UET, his MSc from the Center of Excellence, and he also did a doctorate degree from UET Taxila, Pakistan. He has around 30 years of diversified experience. And currently he is working for GTZ, WAPDA, and the federal government presently. Please, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
First of all, my great appreciation and congratulations for the administration of Center of Excellence and Water Resource Engineering, UT Lahore, in organizing this wonderful seminar. I'm honored to be here to present status of hydropower potential in Pakistan. Particularly, I would focus on the hydropower developed as a run-of-river projects, but I will touch to the reservoir kind of projects as well, because the reservoir project mainly have been already covered by Shahid Hamid Saab in WAPDA presentation. Please, next. Next slide, please. Thank you. So in my presentation of 15 to 20 minutes, I would touch about 2, 3 slides for PPIB, my organization, to have a idea about my organization, and then obviously about the hydropower, SDG 7, and key challenges in hydropower development. Next, please. The PPIB actually was fabulated to act as a one-window facilitation platform at federal level, and it was created in 1994. The main facilitation function of PPIB is to develop and implement the power policies, implementation of the power projects, infrastructure related to the private and partnership kind of projects, approves power generation IPPs and transmission line projects, act as an agent for development and facilitation for other provinces as well. So all kind of security documents comes under our domain, and coordination with the provinces in developing their projects in coordination with the federal government, it also comes under function of PPIB. Next, please. This PPIB is a board. It is a high-powered board. The Federal Secretary Power Division is the chairman, and many other secretaries are the members. The Secretary Power Division, Finance, Petroleum, Planning, Provincial Secretaries, Azad Kashmir, Chairman FBR, Chairman WAPDA, representation from Gilgit-Baltistan and FATA. FATA is now no more there, but in the Act, FATA still is there. Managing Director PPIB and 1 private member from each province. So this is actually the overall composition of the board. Next, please. This is the current grid level, the generation side. Total, we have around 44,943 megawatt. Out of this, you can see at the left 2 boxes, the public sector contributes about 39% of it, whereas private sector IPPs projects contribute 61% in the grid. So total hydro share in it, which is at the right side of the this slide, that is around 24%. And gas and RLNG around 30%, oil 16, coal 16, nuclear 8, and renewable 6%. Next, please. Till now, we have developed 45 IPPs, and of course, mainly are non-renewable at the moment, because renewable projects are coming very late now. So the 45 as a total IPPs, covering around 21 megawatt and one HVDCL line, and it is around 27 billion investment in Pakistan. So private role played in Pakistan's private sector attracted international investors and lenders, supported and coordinated with power sector stakeholders. So many international investors are there, and banks are there. Currently, 17 IPP of 12,000 megawatt commissioned during last 10 years. So the last 10 years are main important. 8 IPP of around 5,442 megawatt commissioned in last 4 years. So first ever transmission line, which is HVDC transmission line Matiari to Lahore, that is commissioned 2 years back. And obviously, currently the PPIB is handling 3 IPPs under construction, CPEC under progress 5 IPPs, and overall CPEC portfolio is around 13 projects with around 12,000 megawatt and 1 HVDCL. Next, please. Next. So I was told that some students are also among the audience, so one slide for them as well. So the students have this phenomena of water cycle when the water comes from ocean and through the rain precipitation part that go to high mountains, and then after precipitation they descends back to the sea, and during their travel they pass through the stream and nalas and rivers. So there they have MGH, the potential energy. So that is actually the potential of hydro. So we, through scientific techniques, we capture that the loose of head, and we generate electricity. Next, please. This is actually the 4 major physical features of a river or stream that enable or ease the development of hydropower project. For an instance, if there are sharp bend, there is a stream or river, and that take a sharp bend somewhere, so we can get advantage of that sharp bend and have a power plant there. If somewhere there is a deep gorge like Indus River near Dasu, etc. So there we can have a possibility of constructing a dam and get a natural advantage of the deep gorge. We can have a reservoir there. Similarly, if a river have a steep slope, that can be very helpful to create a hydropower scheme over there. And sometimes if there are a cross valley shift possible, like Kishan Ganga in Indian held Kashmir, and we have recently, few years back, we have developed a project Patrind, that the Kunhar River is shifted to the Indus River. So that is a cross valley kind of development. So this is actually the 4 physical features of rivers that is very helpful in making the development of hydro easy. Next, please. Next. So our hydro potential is mainly concentrated in these 2 circular areas, and it is mainly in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa AJK, Gilgit-Baltistan, and Punjab. Because Punjab is also, though it is a plain area, but in upper part, particularly and on Canal Falls, we have also some potential of hydro available. Next. So this is actually the zoom map of northern part of Pakistan. So here actually we have, starting from Poonch, we have 4, 5, 6 valleys. The Poonch Valley, and then there is Jhelum Valley, Neelam Valley, Kunhar Valley, Indus Valley, and then there is Swat Valley, and obviously at the end Chitral. So yeah, these are 7 distinct valleys where mainly the hydropower is concentrated. So I'll try to cover in 1 or 2 slides each this 7 valleys. Please. Next. The first is Poonch Valley. It carries 4 projects as a whole. The upper one is 130 megawatt Seda, then 100 megawatt Kotli, then Gulpur, and then Rajdhani. The status of these 4 projects is that the Gulpur project, which is second from the downstream part, that has been operated in 2020, around 2-3 years back. And this Rajdhani project is, we are going to take up it again. But this red 2 projects, I want to mention that those are a very good project technically, but environmentally, those have been asked not to develop by the environmentalists, because this Ban Nala, which is a small line showing just in between the river, that is considered to be the hatchery of marshare fish. And marshare fish, when normally travels upstream, so the environmentalist says that these upper projects will block the passage of marshare fish, which is among the at least degree endangered species. This marshare fish. So that is why the environmentalists have asked that to develop these 2 projects. But anyhow, the lower 2 are possible. Next, please. Among the sorry, this is actually the Gulpur project. The picture left is picture when just the mobilization was done by the contractor in 2015, and right is now in 2020 when the project was commissioned. So this is just in comparison of the figure. Next, please. This is Jhelum River, and if we start from Mangla, the next up towards upstream, that is the first project is 720 megawatt Karot that has been commissioned last year, and it is one of the CPEC project. The next in yellow color, that is 700 megawatt Azad Patan. That is the process has been gone up to land acquisition. It is being sponsored by a Chinese company, China Guzuba, under CPEC regime. Anyhow, due to certain reasons, current reasons, particularly the recent level of, I would say, circular debt and the repayment, etc., the Chinese company is not able to get certain prerequisite approvals from the Sinosure, which is the Chinese insurance company, which is mandatory to get that. So that is little at hold. The next one is in Mahal. It is a non-CPEC, but again, a Chinese company, Three Gorges, is sponsoring this. Next in queue is 1124 megawatt Kohala project. It has a long story in the past as well. It had been tried by WAPDA to develop as well, but ultimately it was given to and included in CPEC by to be developed under CPEC regime by Chinese investors. So this is also advanced stage, but again, these like Azad Patan, this project is also having some hindrance in that. Next, please. So this is actually the sequence of projects on Jhelum River from Upper Chukoti Hatiyan, then Kohala, then Mahal, Azad Patan, Karot, Mangala, 24. So I want to highlight here that these all are run-of-river projects, and very small quantity of water can be stored, particularly to cater 4 or 5 hours, peak hours generation. So from that perspective, it is very important from the perspective of environmental hazards in the future, because when there is, because these dams are not very high dams, very small dams, and if God forbid something happen bad with the mm, I mean environment, and if there is a lot of water comes, so maybe we have to think about that as well. Next, please. This is just a pictorial view of Karot hydropower projects now. Next, please. Yeah, this is a beautiful picture for the Karot. Next, please. Next in queue is Neelam Valley after the Jhelum. Uh, Here, the lowermost project, relatively lowermost project is Neelam Jhelum. Then upper one is the 300 megawatt Ashkot, and then Atmukam 450 megawatt, and then Dudnial 800 megawatt. This Dudnial is being pursued by WAPDA. However, the rest of the the two projects, Atmukam and Ashkot, is being developed through PPIB. And this is around 500 megawatt, but in adjoining knowledge, there are a huge potential available in this valley as well. Next, please. Next in queue,
Next,
our river. So there are total 5 projects. The upper one is the Batakandi, then Naran,
Aran,
then
then
Kanari, Alakot, and Patrind. This Suki Kanari project, 884 megawatt. This is a CPEC project. As at the moment, it is almost completed, and it is scheduled to be commissioned by November next year, and its testing will be started, are scheduled to be started in April next year. This Patrin project, the lower one, is already commissioned in 2017, and this 300 megawatt Balakot is being developed through KP province, and the upper two are still to be pursued, and the government of KP plan to pursue the upper two projects as well. Next, please. This is actually the Patrind project. Left side when nothing was there. The right is when the hydropower scheme was there. Next. This is the dam dike has been completed. The dam side of Suki Kanari project has been completed. Next, please. Obviously, some tunnels and power sites, galleries, etc., etc. Next, please. This is mighty Indus scenario. Obviously, 2-3 projects further upstream are available, but starting from Tangas, Yelbo, Bunji, Diamir Basha, then Patan, Thakot, obviously in Trabela, and adjoining tributaries, particularly the Spataga and Palas valleys, also have considerable potential to be harnessed. And here, the Spatka project 496 megawatt is being pursued by PDO jointly with PPIB. Next, please. This is Swat River, and this is 4 projects. The middle 2 are being sponsored by a Korean coin, which already have developed this Gulpur project as well in the past. So that company is at the stage of determination of tariff from NAPRA, whereas the uppermost project and the lower these 2 projects are being pursued by PIDO. So middle one are PIDO and PPIB jointly. Next. Chetral, actually, Chetral have a very good potential. My colleagues from hydropower sector knows that technically very good sites are available, but obviously it has one particular problem of non-availability of adequate power evacuation from this valley. Only one transmission line at the moment is available, which is for Golem Gol project already under operation under WAPDA. Anyhow, PPIB and the PIDO are jointly planning to develop these projects through mutual collaboration. Yes.
Yes.
So this is just in Golem, 106 megawatt. Next, please. That is WAPDA project. The nutshell is as a whole, the PPIB recent compilation, that is hydro resource book, we have 64,000 megawatt power potential. Previous compilation was 60,000, now it is 64,000, and mainly it is in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa 27,000 megawatt, Azad Kashmir around 8,000, Punjab and 7,000, Sindh and Balochistan very minor potential. But I want to highlight this Gilgit potential, that is 21,000 megawatt, and obviously it has has no national grid connectivity at the moment, and we also have very narrow valleys to transmit or construct transmission lines. So obviously that is a chicken and egg story at the moment, that whether the transmission line should be first or the projects should be first. So that is why this part has or at least has a handsome potential and needs attention of the developers in the near future. Next, please.
Sir, it has been 20
As a
minutes.
nutshell,
Kind
this 64,000 megawatts total, the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, it is approximately 5,700 megawatt in operation. Gilgit around, and it is off-grid, Gilgit is off-grid, that is around 169. Punjab 2,500 and Azad Kashmir in 2,300. And as a whole, 10,852 megawatt is in operation. Projects in implementation, mainly it is in public sector around 25,000 megawatt. And in private sector too, it is again in province and federal both. So around 5,000 megawatt is being pursued by provincial government, and around another 5,000 is around at federal level. Around 13,000 megawatt is still raw sites, and as a whole, you can say the rightmost column is around 20. This is the same value which was shown on the last map, the 27,000 megawatt, 21,778, like that. So this is the breakup of 64,000 megawatt potential. Next, please. So this is another presentation of the the potential, and here I want to highlight that from total 64,000 megawatt, around 32 megawatt is Indus. So Indus comprise of around 50% of the potential of total potential of Pakistan. Next, please. Next, please. Next. So from all the provincial bodies, because PPIB at federal level, provincial organizations like PITO, Azad Kashmir, PPC, PPD started development of hydropower projects which are at different stages. So when we compile all that information, so we come up with a result that at the moment around 16% is in operation. 16 so around 40% is under process in public sector and 17% in private sector, whereas 1% is under PPP mode. Actually, it is a Spartaka project where it is being sponsored by a Korean company with the collaboration and some share from the KP government. So it is PPP kind of project. So when we subtract all these percentages from total 100%, so 27 is still untapped, and particularly this untapped part is located in GB area. Next, please.
Sir, please kindly complete your presentation.
Next. Yeah.
Sir,
This is just a one
are you able
our
to hear?
future initiative. You know, the current target of wind and solar has been
Sir, are you
set up by the government of Pakistan, where these two VRE technologies are being pursued aggressively. And you know, the technical people know when we have more and more this VRE kind of generation, and also we have must-run kind of projects like nuclear, and maybe somehow the coal projects are also, you can say, have the must-run kind of nature. So in that case, pumped storage technology would be required. I mean, it will act as a grid level battery. So PPIB has taken an initiative, and we have included this assignment into the CPEC regime, and where the Chinese consultant is being engaged to study particularly all these seven valleys which I already mentioned,
Sir, are you listening me,
to
sir?
identify the potential sites where pumped storage projects can be developed in future. And after the study, one or two most promising sites will be selected to be developed under CPEC. Obviously, the other will be available for other investors in future as well. Next, please.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, we are getting out of time. Kindly please wind up. Sir. May I have a speaker? Sir, वो mic बांध दो. Call करो.
Yeah. You know, there are obviously the challenges. First, the first challenge which the hydropower developer are facing is non-clarity about the projects and indicator generation capacity expansion plan. Actually, this new planning document was introduced by the federal government 2 years back, and it is mandatory for each and every kind of power project, either hydro or any, to first get it inclusion in this document. It is, if it is optimized by some software and included in IGSAP, then it get clarity for further development. So because all the projects were initiated by the provinces and the federal government when this document was not there, and when it was later introduced, so now it is not clear how to move ahead in the presence of this document. And the other big challenge is normally the interconnection projects to meet the COD deadlines. Recently the Canary project has we have to delay it for a considerable time just because the transmission line interconnection was late. The financing issues, particularly the financing issues in Azad Kashmir, is also an issue. As I earlier mentioned, that around 20 or more than 1,000 megawatt project is in the Chatral, GB, and AJK regions, and power evacuation commitments are not available there. Non-existence of power regulatory regime in Gilgit-Baltistan, because legally speaking, this GB area have its separate kind of system and government. So it does not comes under NAPRA regime, and obviously the federal entities are also at the moment have no legal mandate to develop there. So this non-presence of regulatory regime is one of the big challenge for GB area. Obviously, currently the NAPRA has the new market economics, particularly this CTBCM model, where the market is expected to be free up. Anybody can generate, and to anybody can transmit and distribute. So definitely in this new regime, again, legacy projects are again having a problem to follow at later stage to sync with this new regime. Land acquisition issues, many people already know that there is, because the hydro projects are site specific, and sometimes you cannot even shift the axis for few meters. So in that case, the monopoly is there. So the same land is in any case required. So definitely the people make issues. Obviously, if there is some coal project, or sometimes the other fuel project, so if some owner does not give land, so they can shift 1 kilometer here or there, but in hydro you can't. Socio-environmental challenges, like I mentioned in case of Poonch, the projects technical are very good, feasibility studies have been completed, but there are environmental challenges, so we are stopped to pursue those two projects. And obviously, many people will agree with me that lack of synergy among different stakeholders. So every department has its own mandate, which has to be fulfilled by that particular organization, but it may not be its prime responsibility. For an instance, PPIB or WAPDA or any other similar organization in the province which are dealing with this power business. So development of power is their priority. But when you go to the DC office, so maybe their priority could be a dengue spray, or maybe other like law and order situation, but maybe hydro development is second, third, last priority maybe. So obviously this kind of things also sometimes give some uneasiness to the investors when they pursue. Next, please. Thank you, gentlemen. This is all from me.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable